Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with John Wagner, who is chairman and CEO of American Queen Steamboat Company, and we're here to talk about a lot of new developments with the company, including the Victory cruise line sort of division of it, and some new cruises, and there's a lot to talk about, and you'll find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, John, we're here at Sea Trade, and you had a lot of announcements to make, and we just saw each other recently, and you had announcements then, so I don't know. You got to start making this news.
Yeah, no, I know, James. Thanks. Always a pleasure to see you, and great to be here at Sea Trade. But yeah, it's crazy. We have so many things going on. I went to 4 or 5 other, press conferences, and they got to talk about one thing. We have probably 4 things to talk about.
Yeah.
We get to talk about the acquisition of the Victory 1 and Victory 2,
Yeah,
and
which
then
we have talked about, but now you've got the itinerary starting to come into place, right?
So aside from our Great Lakes itineraries, we're looking at going to the Yucatan Peninsula, very rich in culture and history. We're talking about going to Central America, which we're excited about, and then really excited about the launch of the Ocean Victory and headed up to Alaska. Really our first foray into the expedition cruise market. 20 Zodiacs.
Which is a cool place to be in these days. But let's backtrack a little bit. And so you are going to be doing the Great Lakes with the 2 Victory ships. And talk about that itinerary.
Yeah, so 2 big itineraries. Our most popular, the Victory 1, operates from Toronto to Chicago on 9-day itineraries, hitting all 5 Great Lakes. And then the Victory 2 is from Quebec to Detroit. Yeah.
Which apparently you said Detroit is really popular with it.
Yeah, so we were doing our due diligence on board, and I always ask guests, what was your favorite city? And I thought it would be, Toronto or Chicago, but the 2 favorite cities they had were Cleveland and Detroit. And certainly Cleveland for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We had a guest in the audience today that was from Cleveland, and she said, well, Mr. Wagner, just so you know, we have the 2nd largest theater district in the U.S. in Cleveland. And I said, well, that's pretty darn interesting. And then Detroit, myself being a car guy, Detroit is always good, and the Ford Museum, plus all the museums and the Renaissance in Detroit. So we're excited, and what better way to see the Great Lakes than on board a boat? Well,
and so you're doing the Great Lakes in the sort of summer season and fall, but then in the winter you are, and in fact I asked you this a few months ago, and you said we're not quite sure yet, but we think we're going to do it, and you are. You're going to the Yucatan, right?
We are going to the Yucatan. We were hosted by some of our friends from the Yucatan Peninsula and their Department of Tourism. They came up to Louisville to see us, and then we went down to see them, and I was just amazed, James, by all the rich history. So on a 7-day cruise on our trip down to the Yucatan, you'll take in 3 Mayan ruins, and it's just amazing history, and especially being from the U.S. where, our history goes back 200 years. I mean, they're talking about things that go back to 400 AD, so very rich. All of our guests are looking for something unique and different. We have a lot of unique things with, being able to go into Chichen Itza for sunrise before the gates even open. The gates don't open till 9 because of our relationship and because they are hosting us. You get to go in at 6 o'clock in the morning, sunrise, total religious experience, no matter what religion you are. It's very good and very unique. I chatted with someone the other day and I told them about the other ruins, and they say, yeah, but isn't like Chichen Itza the Holy Grail? Don't you have to go there? And I said, well, you do, but now you get other things and 2 other ruins, that just are very popular and just very historic. So it's great. As always, I'm always excited about it.
Yeah. Now, the other thing about this is, then I guess not the last thing, but is you are going to Alaska, and that's going to be on a different ship, though, but somewhat ironically, it is called Victory as well, right?
It is called Victory. We're staying with the Victory brand. It'll be the Ocean Victory. So I got to tell you, I'm excited about a lot of things, but really excited about Alaska. For those of you that know me, we've had dinner. My first degree was in marine biology. I'm still a biologist at heart. I'm still an environmentalist. I'm still a naturalist. But my roots are, in the sea. I got my start on fishing boats. That's how I got my start in the boat business. So to go to Alaska and be involved, up close and personal Alaska. So 20 Zodiacs on board, which is great. But for us, I get to give back to my alma mater. We're working with Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, their School of Math and Science, putting marine biologists on board that will also be in the skiffs. So when you're with a real marine biologist and you see something and someone says, well, what's that? You don't get to say just, it's a whale. You get to say, look, this is a humpback whale, but let me tell you why they're up here, what they're doing up here, what they're eating. Hey, let's take a plankton net, let's drag a plankton net, let's put in a microscope at the end, and then, let's talk about the toothed whales and the killer whales and the pinnipeds and the ornithology. So
a whale is not just a whale.
No, a whale's not just a whale, and a boat's not just a boat. It's one of our boats, and it's our hook. So yeah, thanks, James.
So all right, so just the timing of this, the Great Lakes cruises are going to be this summer, right?
Yeah.
It's already, they're starting.
19, already
2019.
Pretty much halfway sold out. We're trying to probably fill another 12 cruises and that aren't sold out, but yeah, and then
then the Yucatan is going to be when?
Well, probably not till 2020. We need enough time to put the itineraries together and enough time to go to market with it and market it properly and make sure we're 100% full.
And Alaska?
Alaska 2021.
Okay.
We take delivery of the boat in May, and we'll do. We're talking about doing a 17-day trip from either Costa Rica or Panama all the way up to San Diego, and then we'll go from San Diego, up to Alaska, and then we'll spend 5 months up in Alaska. It'll be amazing, I tell you.
Now, rumor has it you have another brand. I think it's called American Queen. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, American Queen. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So American Queen, you guys got to see it. Our new boat is the American Duchess. As we do, we're always trying to be innovative. And so people say, well, what other crazy thing are you doing? I said, well, we bought another casino boat, but this one needed to be bigger, so we cut it in half, added a 60-foot mid-body section.
You were telling us in the press conference that you said something ironic, and what, you mean you're going to make me cut it in half and grow it?
Right.
And they said, yes, that's actually exactly what we're going to do.
Because that's what we do. The American Duchess only carries 166 passengers, very unique, very exclusive, but we felt our sweet spot is 250. And it was interesting because, yesterday at the State of the Union, that's what the big conversation was. What size is right? And my short answer is, everybody has a different size, and it's what size is right for your company. We find that the American Queen at 430 passengers, the way it's arranged, is awesome.
Which is a beautiful boat.
But we love the American Empress at 202 passengers. But we find for both guest experience and, finance, it's about 250 people. So we made the American Duchess a little bit longer. The good news is it'll be for groups. And so we're excited because we've grown so fast, we haven't been able to accommodate as many groups as they want to because our travel agents are doing such a good job of filling up the American Queen, American Empress, American Duchess. So
I tell you, John, thank you for filling us in about this. There's so much going on. As I said, I had to remind you got another American Queen.
I know.
Victory is really, we're all focused on Victory, and now we got a Yucatan and Alaska coming up. But again, American Queen, and I'm a convert years ago.
Yeah.
It's an amazing, I've been on Duchess as well.
Right.
And those are amazing experiences. And now you're going to have even more amazing experiences with Great Lakes, Yucatan, and Alaska.
Always amazing. We always have a lot of things going on. It's great to be here. And so thanks for your support, and thanks to all our travel agents for their support. Thanks for filling the boat up. As I always say, you got my personal commitment. We will exceed your guest expectations, so keep selling.
Thank you, John. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.